And welcome to the Obscure Reference Show with Patrick,
Hey, everybody.
Miles.
Good evening, good evening.
No, Mike's not here, but Drew is. Hi, guys. Okay, that was really stupid.
Hi, Drew!
We need an actual intro to this show.
I really enjoyed. I know Mike doesn't have the time, but I really enjoyed when we had those really cool intros. I wish we just kept the space one, just went with that.
I think we should use part of that and then just grab some music. Let's get some tunes.
Some tunage.
We could do that.
That whole and then 4 complete idiots. That was just a great intro.
I'm sure I have that somewhere. I can pull it up.
Not our best episode at all.
And we don't really have to even start it like that on the live show. We can start it however we want, and I can just plug that in before the episode on when I post it on iTunes.
But we could also play it for ourselves just to psych ourselves up.
Patrick in the chat room says, "No, Mike. Guess it'll be an hour of bat talk then."
No. Although, okay, I do have two little bits of bat things.
All right.
Get out of the way.
All right.
2 little bitty bats.
Let me guess. So it's Batgirl's new costume.
Batgirl's new costume.
And it's the Gotham announcement.
No, the announcement of Doomsday being in Batman Superman.
What? Batman v Superman?
There are reliable sources from Bleeding Cool who have very nefarious ways of getting information who have reported that Doomsday is supposed to be in Superman v Batman Dawn of Justice.
Interessante.
I'd be okay with that.
I'm fine with that. Although
seems like he would be a better post-credit stinger to be the
I agree
villain of the Justice League movie, which may be what's going down, but you know.
I hope so, because as we keep saying, they keep packing more and more people into this movie to where, is there going to be a movie, or is it going to be a series of non sequiturs from people who are going to have a movie?
I think this is one of those situations where they're just going to constantly be in production.
Yeah.
For the rest of ever. We're never going to see this movie. It's just going to be in production.
No. It's going to be the Chinese democracy of films.
Yeah. China might get democracy before this movie comes out.
Well played. And the second bit, yes, the redesign of Batgirl, which I really like.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It kind of gives more of a youthful exuberance that Batgirl is supposed to have, as opposed to the very 90s bad girl armored image looking
90 youthful exuberance, you mean because she looks 14 now?
Well, she's supposed to be kind of like her early 20s, because they started doing that in the Zero Year stuff where Batgirl was clearly really, really young.
I think it looks cool. I would like to see some more angles other than the couple that they've shown.
Right.
I think I don't read Batgirl month.
I don't either, but now that Gail Simone's gonna be off the title, I might.
You don't like Gail Simone?
I don't. I love a lot of what she stands for. I think she's a really cool person, but her writing in particular, I don't care for. I think she doesn't really practice what she preaches. To me, she talks about all these great qualities that female characters are supposed to have, and doesn't really put them in her own. And especially with her Batgirl stuff, I thought she talks about how interesting and how much she loves Barbara, but to me it doesn't come off in her writing. And I have nothing personal against Gail Simone, and I think a lot of what she says in her blogs and what she stands for is fantastic. But I don't particularly care for her as a writer.
Did you get to read any of the Secret Six, Miles?
I did. I did like that. I don't think she's an awful writer across the board. I just don't generally care for her stuff.
I just need to pick those up or find them somehow, because they're all out of print. It kills me. I own the Villains for Hire, or God, what was it? It was coming out of Infinite Crisis, where she started writing Liz.
Oh yeah. It wasn't Suicide Squadron, was it?
No. Villains United is what it was.
Oh, that's right.
But yeah, no, I mean, I really haven't read that much by her, because I did start reading Batgirl when the New 52 started, and I was just like, it hasn't hooked me, even with.
Well, I only know
backstory.
I can only think of Batgirl from what I have read in her other appearances in books, and she just kind of comes off as bratty in some of the other books.
Constantly angry, like most New 52 female characters, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I just that's why I think that taking a different direction with the book might bring some life to it.
I absolutely agree.
in Forever Evil. Well, she hasn't really been in Forever Evil very much, but in Batman Eternal and Batman
Death in
and
the Family.
Batgirl, Death in a Family. She just, I mean,
that was the worst.
That.
When she was in Teen Titans, I mean, she was just constantly yelling at everyone for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
But I like the new costume. It's got more of a kind of a modern neo-noirish kind of look, very leather, but very kind of cool detective looking. I like it.
Yeah. Okay, that's enough comic book talk. It's enough Batman talk.
Yeah,
get bored.
Well, what about Marvel? I just wanted to say to Miles, I did finish.
Are we talking about Rick Remender?
No. I finished reading the Gillen Young Avengers run.
Oh, did you like it?
Yeah, no, I picked up all 3 trades. I did. I loved it, actually.
Yeah, it's really one of the best teenage teen books I've ever read.
Yeah, I mean,
teenage teen books like Archie. Do they get a Riverdale?
Teen books.
Well, it's great. It does.
Do the Young Avengers go to Riverdale? I'm
Um,
asking that question.
they do because the main bulk of the series, it just skips over them going through like probably hundreds of
different dimensions.
different Marvel dimensions.
Does Jughead have?
Oh my God! Let Patrick talk.
No, I was just saying I really liked it. I'm going to continue, picking up the Wicked and Divine. I think in single issues because
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, Wicked and Divine was cool. I need to pick
Oh,
up
you liked
issue
it, Drew?
2 of, yeah, I did. I'm probably going to pick up the next issue just because I invested in the first one, just to see
Art's
where
gorgeous.
it goes. The
Yeah.
art is great. I would like to pick up issue 2 of Trees.
Yes,
Trees was real good.
Well, I'm a huge Warren Ellis fan, but Trees has just got a really cool concept and has that very mysterious science fiction thing going on that I think a lot of people are into. So yeah, I'm stoked about Trees as well.
I mean, I think The Wake ends this month, which is
Yeah, I think it does too.
which is gonna be sad because I love that book, but
I think I talked about this off the show. I picked up Robert Kirkman, famous for The Walking Dead, but should be famous for the Invincible. He has a new horror series called Outcast, which instead of being about zombies, is about demonic possession, which is a really fascinating concept because in the back matter he was talking about how The Walking Dead to him is not a horror book. It's just an adventure book with gruesome stuff in it. But in the Outcast, he's like, I'm deliberately trying to write a horror book, and there are certain scenes where I'm trying to be creepy. And he succeeds so far because I think while I'm not a religious person, I find the concept of it really fascinating, and the fact that there are so-called documented cases of it makes it more interesting to me.
interesting.
And it's got some cool stuff in it. So switching from comics, I know Mike ordered his and I ordered mine. Drew, did you get your copy of Killzone?
I did. Let me see if it's still sitting over here.
Amazon had a deal this week where Killzone Shadowfall was for PS4 was for $20, and while it wasn't a game I would usually buy, a PS4 game for $20, I couldn't deny that.
Yeah, I got it yesterday. I have been so busy that I have not been able to even put it in the system. I will probably do that tomorrow. But
awesome. It's definitely got a long beginning, like a lot of those kind of games do now. I also realized the shooter hasn't changed a whole lot.
I mean, there are subtle little things, but
there are, and I know I'm being simplistic.
I have not actually played any of the Killzone games before.
I haven't either, so I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
I mean, they do a good job of like, this is a story about two sides warring. This is what's happening. But I mean, there's not a whole lot of story in there. It's basically, hey, this is your mission now.
So I watched today a 15-minute breakdown of a Metal Gear Solid 5 Mother Base tour. So in Metal Gear Solid 5, much like in the Peace Walker PSP game, you're going to have this Mother Base component where you basically, outfit your base and you train your troops and you send Big Boss / Naked Snake out on missions from there, and you go back. And apparently there was this at E3, they did this 30-minute demo of Snake walking around Mother Base and looking at stuff and doing stuff and all of that. But this dude, he was like, now if you see this door over here, it looks like the outside portion of an inner door that you see in this scene here. So maybe you're going to it was some crazy detailed nonsense happening in that video. And I also, of course, watched the most recent E3 trailer with the nuclear song playing over the back of it. Where Big Boss is rubbing the dude's ashes on his face and he looks all intense. And I cannot wait for this.
Oh,
game.
We know.
They cannot.
They're definitely the best
wait.
trailers of like any games because it's a very cinematic video game series, you know. Hey.
It is, and you know, I've been playing the Metal Gear games again. I still think Metal Gear Solid 3 is my favorite of the. Like I love Metal Gear Solid 1, but I think of the sort of PS2 era and later games, 3 is my favorite. I think it's better than 4. I definitely think it's better than 2. But I think I just like Big Boss's story more than Solid Snake's story. We've been over this on the show.
Yeah, you've mentioned that before that you were a Big Boss fan, but you also like the Cold War stuff a lot.
Yeah,
Big Boss.
But Ground Zeroes was so. I mean, it was short, but it was
How short is it actually?
It depends on how much you do. Like I've put several hours into it. I mean, the actual campaign itself, half of it is learning how to play the game. I mean, people say, "Oh, it's a 10-minute demo." But that person that did it in 10 minutes is someone who spent hours figuring out how to do it in 10 minutes. So that's not exactly an accurate. Representation to me. But it's pretty. They have done a lot to the mechanics of the game. I actually do like Kiefer Sutherland as Big Boss.
I think he was a great choice.
I think David Hayter's going to be in the game at some point.
I also agree, and one of my friends said today, and I mean it's not like a revelation, but she thinks that he's gonna appear as Solid Snake, and the reason having Kiefer Sutherland also being in the game is so you have two different voices playing Snake.
And they've done that before. They did that in Metal Gear Solid. Spoiler warning for Metal Gear Solid 4: Big Boss is alive, and he's not voiced by David Hayter. He's so it's not. It's not, you know, weird that happened. The game, however, is supposed to take place in 1984, which Snake would be like, I don't know, because the first Metal Gear games were supposed to take place in the 90s, I want to say.
You're talking about the first Metal Gear Solid games or the first Metal Gear games?
Metal Gear Solid took place in...
Was it 2005?
2000. Or was it 2005?
I want to say 2005.
So he would have been...
It was
he
at
would
least
have
10
been
years.
my age, like.
Yeah, so because I was born in 1984, I will be 30 next month. So if this game takes, thank you. So if assuming that Solid Snake is 5 years older than I am, then that would put him at about 5 years old during that game.
Right.
Which just doesn't make sense to me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But he could be a post-credit sequence, or there could be a whole third act of this game that we haven't seen yet. You know?
Yeah, that's also true.
That's also true.
Damn it, Miles. You know the rules, man.
Well, the thing is now I say it almost as an agreeing tick. I don't even think about it when I say it because of you guys. So it doesn't even occur to me to sing it because I used to do it all the time, and my friends have no idea what I'm talking about.
When I discovered that Mike did that without being prompted to do so by me, it was one of the craziest days.
Yeah. No, I've made friends, and just like when you make new friends and you just fall into sync into like in jokes you've had with other friends, it's always it's a good fit.
Oh yeah, no. When I met Dean Tripp and I was trying to come up with something, and I said, "Well, it's been," and then he goes, "It's been," and I was like, "Okay, this is weird."
You still in contact with him? We need to get him on.
I got his number. I need to give him a call.
Maybe he can come on next week. That'd be fun.
That would be fun. I know he was at con this past weekend, and he might be at MonsterCon. I'll have to check.
Text him later. He seems like a cool dude.
Yeah, he is. And MonsterCon is next weekend for not this coming weekend, but the next, for people who are in the southeastern area, where you're going to have a lot of more science fiction horror stuff than comics. There'll be a little bit of comic book stuff, but it's mostly like people who have been in, like you have some of the cast of the monsters that are going to be there. People who have been in the original Star Trek and the original Creature from the Black Lagoon. Doug Jones is a guest of honor
Is the Gorn gonna be there? The Gorn is usually at stuff like that.
Yeah, they'll probably have someone dressed up like the Gorn, but they might just have the costume, not an actual actor. But they're making a big deal of the fact that the actor that you corrected me about, Christopher Pike, is going to be in there.
Yeah. Do we have this conversation on the show, or was that
No, we had it on text message.
Yeah, Miles is like, the guy who played Christopher Pike from the Star Trek show, not the movie, is going to be at MonsterCon. I'm like, how's that going to happen? That dude's dead.
They're digging him up. They're putting him in a glass case.
Well, apparently it's the guy who starred in the show, so like they made it look like him or something.
Yeah, because they took the original pilot that was not picked up, and they converted it into sort of a backstory episode.
Yeah,
called, it was actually 2.0 called the Menagerie, where basically that guy is on trial, and so they had, because the other guy was not available. He was still alive at the point, but not available. They had this. It's the startup dude in the wheelchair that only has the light that comes on. Boop beep.
What kind of cheap show would use footage from an existing episode and just
shut up
and put it? Try to. No, I remember reading about how after I think the first, like halfway through the first season of that original series, like they were thinking about canceling it, and because like all the episodes were running over, and then they pulled that out, that two-parter with Spock and on trial and everything, and that kind of backstory is what really like brought a lot of people in to the show, and it got.
Lucille Ball had a lot of to do with keeping that show on the air, apparently.
I did read about that as well.
Yeah, well, it was produced by Desilu.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of cons and cons,
it's sad that I knew what Desilu was from Star Trek and not from the Lucy Show. I don't know. Makes sense for me, I guess.
I am 1 month away from Boston Comic Con in August.
Cool.
Right, August is next month. Yes, August is next month.
Anybody cool going?
Let's see here. We got Sean Astin.
So no.
Wow, John Barrowman.
Oh, nice.
Oh, he's fun. I've seen him at Dragon Con, and he is insane.
Yeah, at first I was like, who is he? And it's like, oh yeah, now he's on Arrow. Let's see here. James Marsters, he's always at BCC. Also from Arrow, Katie Cassidy.
Don't know who that is.
She plays...
I gotta watch Arrow. I haven't watched Arrow yet. I know.
You would really like it a lot.
I would like fake Batman who shoots people in the chest with arrows. I'm sure
Katie Cassidy is she Thea?
No. She's the what's her name? The love interest, Laura Lance.
Oh yeah, Bella from Supernatural.
Okay.
Not Bella. The original Meg. Not
I'll
Meg.
take
Ruby. She's
her word for it.
Speaking of Arrow, I didn't mean to cut you off, Patty. Brandon Routh is going to be in season 3. They announced as Ray Palmer.
Ooh. Oh yeah, no, I did see that.
From Superman to the Atom. What a step down.
I'm stoked for him because I liked Brandon Routh. I think he's a fun actor.
I thought he was great in. I actually liked him as Superman. I thought he was a good choice.
I thought he was a great choice. I agree.
Too bad the rest of that movie was terrible. I thought he was. I really liked him and his run on Chuck. I thought that was great. I liked him in. He was fantastic in the Scott Pilgrim movie.
He's also really funny in Zack and Miri.
Actually, wasn't Chris Evans in the Scott Pilgrim movie too?
Yeah. He was also in a lot of comic movies. He's probably like if someone was like, what actor has been in the most comic book movies? I might say Chris Evans at this point.
Yeah, he was in Losers, and he was in Fantastic Four 1 and 2.
2 Fantastic Fours.
You've got Captain America, Avengers, Captain America 2 already. Yeah. Scott Pilgrim, so that's 7 that I'm counting.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman probably in more now, but there's.
But Hugh Jackman's only playing
Wolverine,
which
he has been like I think 7 times.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely been the most superheroes.
Well, let's count Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. You've got X-Men 1, 2, and 3.
You know, Wolverine 1 and 2, X-Men
Wolverine
First
1 and
Class,
2.
and First Class
X-Men
2.
First Class, does that count though?
He's
I
Wolverine
mean,
in it. It's cameo.
Yeah. 7.
yeah. So what I would count still Chris Evans because he's in 7 movies for more
what?
than a second and a half.
I would agree
Well-
with you. He's also played 7 different roles, or 6 different roles.
Technically, he was in Thor 2, though that was really just a cameo. Like, Loki took on
That's
the
true.
guys.
Yeah,
Captain
that's
America.
true. It is a cameo in Thor 2 because he was the actor in there.
Yep. So yeah, gotta give it to Chris Evans.
Yeah, and he's a great actor too. But yeah, I always really liked Brandon Routh as Superman. I wish that movie was better because I think he was the perfect choice. I really wish they had just kept him as Superman and just redid it.
Yeah,
I still haven't seen Man of Steel either, but
It's solid. I think you'll like it.
you should see it.
And even Mike liked it, and he likes Superman the least of all of us.
that's true. So, Miles, we got to talk about this because it's current events, and
Okay.
I know that the two of us are kind of way into it now. Let's talk about some World Cup.
Oh, awesome! I'm down. Okay, yeah. It's
Patrick, have you been watching any World Cup?
Most of the games are on while I'm at work, but I've been following the memes that have been generated online.
I love the fact that someone put clips from the Brazil Germany game onto RedTube.
the RedTube, for those that don't know, is a porn site, a video
Yeah.
porn site.
Yeah, everyone
um,
knows, true.
Well, I don't know.
If you're listening, come on.
Patrick in the chat room said Chris Evans is the Samuel L. Jackson of comic book movies.
Oh, Samuel L. Jackson's been in a lot of comic book movies too.
That's
Technically, he's been in.
I know that. I mean, a lot of people who listen to this show probably know that I don't, have an aversion to sports, but I'm actually a really big soccer fan. And people on Facebook have always been quick to point out, I was like, oh, people only care about soccer and the World Cup, and what they don't realize is the World Cup is the one time that a lot of soccer fans actually have a chance to watch world soccer on TV.
Yeah, people don't care about the Olympics until there's, or people don't care about skiing until there's an Olympics or figure
Right, so
skating.
your country's being represented in something, so why would you not care about it? But like for me, being a soccer fan, because I watched the Gold Cup because a friend of mine has like some of those obscure sports stations on his cable, so like I got to watch that. But unless it's the World Cup, most of the time you can't watch soccer.
That is true.
I think that's changing a little bit. I mean, you can get La
It
Liga
is a little
games
bit.
fairly easily, but I'm shocked by how much I'm getting into it. Just because, I mean, I'm a huge nerd. I have 2 different shows all about nerdy stuff. I sort of talk about my aversion to sports, and then all of a sudden, I catch myself in the middle of a match yelling at a player by name.
Yeah.
And it's like, when did this happen? When did I start learning? That's how I know I've been watching too much World Cup. When Drew is calling out players by name. And I think I figured out why I'm enjoying soccer.
Soccer's a fun sport to watch.
It's a fun sport to watch. I agree. I think it's twofold. I think the first half of it is, I play golf. So there's that moment whenever you're watching golf or playing golf when, like, you're putting, and that ball is just inching towards the hole, and is it going to make it? Is it going to make it? Oh, or yeah, depending on how well
That's
you're
true.
playing. And that's soccer every few minutes as they attack the goal.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, the other side to that is because they don't do commercial breaks during the games, I have no change the channel opportunities.
Right, so you're invested in it.
Yeah, like basketball, football, baseball, every couple of minutes there's a commercial break, and I'm going to change the channel when that happens. It's just what I'm going to do.
And I think that has something to do with the un-Americanness of the sport in a sense. The fact that it's not a typical American sport.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's being broadcast everywhere else, so all the stations are like, no, we're not going to cut the commercial break because we can't. So you watch it when there's a timeout, a substitution, or the halftime. That's it.
And, it's one of those things where because there are no commercial breaks, I have to wonder how much the ads on the side of the field cost.
Oh, I'm sure they
have
cost a ton.
got to be
And you also know those players are tired. Soccer fields are not small. And those guys are hauling ass for 95 minutes.
They are roughly the same length as a football field and about 10 yards wider.
Yeah, and you don't get to have a little break every down.
Yeah, but you do have a little break every time your team takes the ball back and kicks it back and forth between three people in the backfield.
Depending on what team you're on and how good the other team is, because there are some midfielders. I mean, they're constantly just going back and forth, back and forth.
That's true. It's. I mean, I'm not going to argue that it's not a tiring game. I'm enjoying watching World Cup so much. It makes me want to either start following a La Liga team or a Premier League team, just because those are going to be the two
you'll get to. Yeah,
the two I'll get to see. Now, granted, watching La Liga in the U.S. sometimes is just Spanish language, so.
I mean that happens a lot, and it's actually one of the reasons. And I'm not mean to sound like anything, but one of the reasons I go to the Mexican restaurant next to my house is because they always have soccer games on. And there are various leagues, but it's a bigger sport in South America, so I go over there on Sundays because they have soccer games.
Every time I go into the Irish pub in the town where I work, they have soccer on all the time, which is kind of nice. They got all the ESPN channels.
Oh, that's awesome.
I just
time is soccer time.
Atlanta's getting an MLS team in 2017.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What are they called? Do you know?
They don't even have a name yet. It will probably be the Atlanta some kind of birds. Because we've got the Falcons, we've got the Hawks. We used to have the Thrashers.
Didn't you have? Wasn't the WNBA called the Atlanta Dream or something like that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Living the Atlanta dream.
But that's awesome. I would actually. I mean, even though MLS is fairly whatever, but that's kind of cool, actually.
I looked up league salaries for MLS players, and the majority of them make about as much as I do, not playing professional sports, which is, it's respectable. I do all right. But there are several players that are in the six figures and above category.
Well, you got David Beckham, who basically retires from actual soccer and then plays MLS.
Yeah, he's not playing anymore though.
No, he's not. And I think Henry came back from. Well, he was on Arsenal, and then he played for Barcelona for a little bit, and I think New York got him.
The only team names I know for MLS are the Seattle Sounders and the LA Galaxy, and I think I only know those because some of the U.S. team members played for them.
Right. And I mean, not to make a IT crowd reference, but I typically do follow Arsenal.
Did you see that ludicrous display last night?
But I actually am an Arsenal fan, so I've always thought that was even funnier than it should be. But I keep up with their games, and really for Arsenal games, the only ways you can keep up is through Twitter and Facebook. Otherwise, you have to watch older clips. It kind of sucks.
You could watch them on the NBC Sports app. I found out yesterday.
Oh, you can?
When I was getting my haircut, and my stylist had the game on his tablet sitting there, so I could watch the game while I was getting my haircut.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm into soccer, at least for now. I will be honest, I'm probably not going to follow a team just because I have no allegiances to any of the Premier League teams.
Soon.
But, 2 more years until the Summer Olympics, so...
And 2 more years till you get a team, right? You said 2016 or 17?
But 2017 we'll get a team here in Atlanta, but, MLS
I will go to a game with you.
MLS is still MLS, but I'm talking
it's still soccer, though.
But, I mean, U.S. team... Definitely going to follow in the Summer Olympics in 2 years, which will also be in Brazil, so that's cool, I guess.
Interesting.
Anyway, there's been sports talk on the Obscure.
That's one of the longest we've ever talked about sports, with the exception of possibly talking about Wofford and the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. Well, Patrick, do we have a game tonight?
We do indeed. You want to dig in?
Let's dig in. Dig. Dig ourselves deeper into this hole of content.
Fun times. Let me get a pen. I've been thinking of a lot of new games recently, and this is not one of them. But
well, you promised
I realized we didn't talk about what the title of the video on RedTube is with the Brazil versus.
Oh, God, I can't remember. It was the
Brazil
one thing on
versus
Reddit.
It's a group of Brazilians get fucked for an hour and a half by
an entire
12
German soccer team.
Germans. Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah, it was.
That's not the one I saw that was posted there, but I'm sure as soon as it got taken down once, it was put up in some.
I still thought that was probably one of the funniest things I had seen that day, because I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
I honestly think World Cup has been more popular this year than it was even 4 years ago because of the prevalence of Twitter. I think Twitter has made it more of a social experience where it would not, at least in this country, have been as much of one before.
I followed it a lot on Twitter, and like the number of tweets that went out like during each goal, and the uses of the word Nazi like every time German.
Oh, I'm sure. Sure.
Honestly, this German team looks like a Hitler Youth poster. They've
It
all
really
got
does.
they've all got like the German
I'm not
military
gonna lie.
haircut. It's crazy.
They
how
do
this
look like the
team
Hitler
looks.
Youth.
The absolute best thing, and I'll try and find a picture of it for you guys, but if you haven't seen, there's a New Zealand ad campaign, an anti-gambling ad campaign that has videos, bus ads, everything you can find about these kids, and they're like talking about World Cup, and it's like, I hope Netherlands wins, and I hope Brazil wins, and this other kid is like, I hope Germany wins, and they're like, why are you so sad? And he's like, my dad bet my life savings on Germany. And now everyone's like, I bet that kid's pretty happy going into this finals.
Yeah, it's pretty telling that Germany's probably going to win this cup.
I don't know. I'm still rooting for Argentina.
I hope they do, but I mean, Germany's been fairly unstoppable except for the one tie they had.
The other one was a picture of the previous pope and the current pope, and it's World Cup 2014, Argentina versus Germany. Get it? The previous two popes. Okay, so the game. Oh God, what was I talking about? I've been thinking of some new games that escape me now, but this is not a new game. This is a classic, an obscure reference classic game called Onion, Not the Onion.
Ooh.
Onion, Not the
I
Onion.
actually haven't played this in a while, so I don't feel that bad playing it.
Everyone remembers how to play Onion, Not the Onion, right? Yes.
Yes.
It's pretty classic.
But you should probably explain the rules anyway, just because this could be someone's first episode of the morning of obscure reference.
You figure it out as we go along, or we don't want you listening. No, I'm going to read a headline from somewhere, and you have to tell me if that headline comes from the satirical news website, The Onion, or if it comes from a real newspaper or website, and which you would say, Not the Onion. So the game's called Onion / Not the Onion. All right, so let me just write down some names here. We
need better game names.
Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Yeah, I really racked my brain for this one. It took me a couple weeks soul searching, but I did finally come up with. I was gonna go Not the Onion / Onion, but it didn't feel right. Didn't roll off the tongue.
What about Onion v. Not the Onion, Dawn of Guessing?
We're gonna make fun of that until it comes out and blow.
I'm still gonna make fun of it even when it's out.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
It's not a great title.
No, it's not.
Well, if they just kept it, why do we need a subtitle? Why do we need a subtitle? Does someone what is a Batman v Superman movie gonna be about? Come on, guys, we got
justice.
Lawsuit. There's gonna be lawyers involved in this. Unbelievable. On with the game.
All right, so Miles and Drew, title number 1 is White House not sure if Obama aware of his own tweets. White House not sure if Obama aware of his own tweets. Let's go Miles first. Onion or Not the Onion?
Oh, man. This is sad enough to be either. I'm going to go real.
Not the Onion. Drew?
Not the Onion.
You both are correct. That is a truth that they're not sure if Obama knows what he's tweeting, because, you know what? I doubt he's actually on his super secure BlackBerry tweeting out shit.
Leader of the free world. Gotta
tweeting
keep that
away.
within 140 characters.
It's like I'm at least getting 280. I'm the
That would be
potent.
kind of hilarious if his Twitter actually had more characters than anyone else's.
If they had somehow, given him a special account.
By the time he types President of the United States of America, he's done. He's
You're like 100 characters right there. Article number 2 is man raises $10,000 on Kickstarter to make a bowl of potato salad. Drew.
real.
Not
Actually,
the Onion.
not the Onion.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'm going real with that as well.
All right, this is gonna be a fun game. So that one.
It's
Of
over
course it's not.
30,000 now.
God, that's so annoying.
If you guys haven't heard of this at home, Potato Salad was the name of the Kickstarter. Man seeking $10 on Kickstarter to make a potato salad. And I don't know if you read this, but like some of the goals is like if you donate $20, you can
You get a bite of potato salad.
No, $20. You can name an ingredient that goes in the potato salad. There have been like 360 something people that have paid $20. There's gonna be just hundreds of ingredients in this.
He can't do this, right? He's gonna shut it down at the last minute and not take the money. That's got to be the end game to this.
Well, I mean,
right?
I thought that doesn't that go against the terms and conditions of Kickstarter?
Kickstarter just relaxed a lot of their terms and conditions, and I'm fairly certain that they haven't touched this one yet.
That bothers me.
I don't know. It is driven by the humor of the situation, which I
Right,
enjoy.
right.
But I mean, does that mean potato salad is the funniest food?
I think you're also, if you haven't already seen it, there's going to be, help me raise $15 so I can make a ham sandwich. Help me raise $35 so I can put my pizza in the oven.
Ham sandwich is pretty funny. I don't know about pizza. I don't think it's very. There's not a lot of joking around with pizza.
None of it's really funny to me. That's stupid.
If you say
I know,
pineapple
and-
pizza,
no, what
it
I'm
immediately
saying
gets
is-
funnier.
The potato salad thing is pretty funny that they're going about it like this. I know they're going to be copycats that are
Yeah, exactly.
destroy it and run into the ground, and it's going to be terrible.
Yeah, but we have this while it lasts. Next article title. We're going back to Brazil, gentlemen. The Brazilian government vows to use all money from World Cup for much-needed soccer infrastructure. Onion or not the Onion? We went Drew first last time. Miles.
I went first last time, didn't I? Oh, no, I didn't.
you
I'm
did.
going to say Onion.
Onion and Drew.
That's got to be Onion.
That is correct. All right, we've got a tied game here.
I mean, it also helps that we have guessed the exact same thing on every question. So
If by helps you mean that's the only reason there's a tied game, yes, that is correct. All right, so I'm throwing a curveball, gentlemen. Now you both don't get to answer. We're gonna go 1-on-1, head to head. This is.
You should have just made it Batman trivia if you knew it was the two of us.
Shut your face. Shut your beautiful face, Miles. Drew, your article title is Cheeto's social media team arguing over whether to tweet in Chester Cheetah's voice. Onion or not the Onion?
I want this to be not the Onion, so I'm guessing that.
Unfortunately, that was an Onion article.
And I want that to be true as well.
And that's why we're splitting it up. All right. Miles, experts warn climate change would make gingers extinct. Onion or not the Onion? Experts warn climate change could make gingers.
I want that to not be the Onion.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, that's my final
Not the
answer.
Onion. That is indeed not the Onion.
What?
Because they have very fair skin, so climate
fair
change
skin.
would...
Yeah.
yeah.
Mess them up. Drew, Onion or not the Onion? Call of Duty Ghosts tires of half-baked DLC gets fully baked with cannabis-themed pack. Onion or not the Onion?
Not the Onion.
Oh, that is correct. You can have military fatigues with pot leaves on them,
Like every
like real soldiers.
like every 15-year-old and every college sophomore Whatever.
All right.
Yeah.
Miles,
Yo.
back to Brazil. Brazilian voodoo priests to curse Germany. This is from last week, so.
I want to say.
It's got to be Onion because it didn't work.
I want to say no. I want to say not the Onion. That sounds like something that might happen.
That is correct.
Unbelievable.
Apparently, there's a voodoo priest out of work right now, or somehow it backfired.
They probably have the Spirit of Destiny in Germany, so you know.
Drew! Shame of walking out without buying anything drives 90% of purchases at small businesses. Onion or not the Onion?
Onion.
Oh, that is correct, Drew.
Yes.
And Miles. New EPA regulations would force power plants to find 30% more loopholes by the year 2030.
That sounds legitimate. Not the Onion.
That is indeed the Onion. Ooh.
Really?
Sorry.
That
Finally,
sounds like something that
Tied it back up.
Drew, Canadian man, sorry for drinking 8 beers and swimming to Detroit.
Not the Onion.
That is correct. And
Yes.
sorry is indeed in quotes.
Sorry.
Oh, Miles.
Sorry about that.
Oh, we got a hard one here, Miles. Not the Onion or the Onion. Federal judge tells Supreme Court to STFU. Shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna say not the Onion.
Final answer?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah, I knew that one was correct.
You hear about this? A
Yeah.
federal judge in a blog post. All right, we're gonna move on here.
It was about the Hobby Lobby thing.
Hobby Lobby. Let's not get into politics here, Drew. Come on, I know that you love craft stores.
I do love
They're
craft stores.
infallible in your mind.
We don't get into politics on this show, but
It's true.
the Hobby
Drew-
Lobby decision is stupid.
I agree.
Speaking of politics, Congress splits into male and female senators to discuss newest reproductive bill. Onion or not the Onion?
Onion.
That is correct.
What's sad is I can see that being not the Onion.
People I've asked did say not the Onion for that one.
No, honestly I think people would be happier if it was not the Onion because maybe then some. Never mind.
Yeah, that's also true.
That's also true.
Let's see. Miles.
Yo.
Income inequality emerges as key topic to avoid in 2014 elections.
Onion.
Onion. That is correct.
Oh, Patrick, either these are really easy today because Miles and I have both only missed one.
Either that or we're super smart.
Doing pretty good.
I like the fact that we're super smart. That's a good
All right. Hold on to your goddamn asses. Drew. Right, Drew. Yes. Guantanamo detainees demand same religious rights as U.S. craft store chain. Onion or not the Onion?
Oh, spoke too soon.
Yeah, motherfucker!
That sounds like such an Onion headline. Fortune favors the bold, not the Onion.
That is correct.
Yeah.
They want reproductive rights? I don't know what that article was about, but it did tickle me. Oh wow, yeah, we got stalemate. I gotta go into my deep reserve here. Miles, you also gotta get a hard one. So let me look through these. Boop,
I think
beep,
the chat room is way behind the video stream.
boop, beep, boop. Oh my goodness, hey.
But thank you for playing along, Patrick. I'm not sure you're on.
It's always nice to have Patrick.
But they didn't start. We didn't start seeing that until at least we were into the number 4 or 5.
Oh my god, what did I do here? Oh, I have it open in another window. That's what's happening. All right.
Let's move back to Captain Planet trivia.
Shut your.
I was good at that.
Earth.
Fire.
All right.
Wing.
Miles, Onion or not the Onion? Students of women and gender studies at ASU get credit for not shaving. Onion
That sounds like not the Onion.
Damn it. That is correct. Feel like this is a game for 3 peoples because
It
usually
really is a
there's
game for 3 people.
someone wanting to go against the tide.
Well, it's the Battle of the Titans here. It's me and Drew.
I don't know. Mike's
Drew.
pretty good at this game too.
Mike is pretty good at this game.
Drew, American Medical Association introduces new highly effective placebo doctors. Onion or not the onion? AMA
Placebo doctors.
introduces new highly effective placebo doctors.
That just sounds weird, but it could be doctors that specialize in the placebo effect, and therefore would make that a real article.
I need to know whether you're voting onion or not onion.
I'm gonna say onion, mostly because I want that to be wrong, so we can end the game.
Final answer?
Final answer.
That is correct. Drew.
Unbelievable.
You son of a bitch. Miles! Miles! Brutally honest new Revlon ad campaign reminds customers you can't change what you are. Onion or not the onion?
Onion.
Crickets in the background. Final answer.
Yeah.
You guys are trying to end the game. I hate you because that is correct.
How many more do we have?
Well,
Are we doing sudden death now, so that as soon as one of us misses one, they are the loser and the next one is
Oh
the
yeah,
winner?
no, I already went through this week, so I'm into the next time we play these games. And I was like, oh
Unbelievable.
man, I found so many. I'm so awesome.
You know, games are not fun when...
Drew!
I'm having a good time, Patrick.
As the Germany-Brazil game and the World Cup the other day shows, when one team is just completely dominating and winning everything, it's not as interesting to watch. All right.
Well, you guys should
Yeah,
have
but
gotten more
that's
wrong.
not what's happening here. We're
How dare
both
you.
tied.
That is true. Drew. White Sox give away white ponchos, inadvertently turn stadium into a Klan rally. Onion or not the onion?
Not the onion.
It's not the- that shit was so hilarious.
God damn it. Miles!
I saw that video.
Miles!
That was such a bad idea.
Miles, man who took poverty vow, wins $259.8 million Powerball jackpot.
I don't know. Onion.
Ooh, Drew, we have a winner here because
Yes.
that is not the onion. That is real life fucking being terrible.
Congratulations, Drew. It was a
Thank you,
well
sir.
played game.
I had like
It really was. For this hour
It was a
and
long
half,
ass game.
this hour and a half that we've been playing.
I just missed that penalty kick. That's what it was.
everyone did very well. I love you all. No, yeah. So I was thinking about more games.
The last line of Boy Meets World.
What?
Oh.
Class dismissed. I love you all.
Aw.
Oh yes, Shane in the chat room. The chat is way behind. I apologize. We do respond when we see it, but yeah. And Patrick, good job getting a lot of them right.
Yeah.
I honestly think that our Patrick was a little easy on us this time around.
Usually-
I don't know. Some of these, like you
Some
said,
of those were really good ones. We
were
just
super
happened to get
hard.
them right. Drew, you're not giving us enough credit. And our big brains.
No, I'm not giving us enough credit.
Speaking of Boy Meets World, did either of you catch Girl Meets World?
I watched the first 5 minutes of Girl Meets World, and it's about their stupid kids. It's not about Corey and Topanga at all.
Well,
Will
yeah,
not
that
watch. Will not
you
watch.
didn't know that going in?
Yes, of course I knew that going in, dude. I
What were you
absolutely knew that
expecting?
going in. I just wanted to watch the intro and see how much of a typical Disney Channel show it was, and it was an absolutely typical Disney
Yeah,
Channel show.
I agree. I am hoping that it does get a little bit better just because Boy Meets World was such a great, smart sitcom about growing up that I really hope that it catches the same thing. I think there's potential in the show. Also, on Anna the Network, that show would have gotten really dark really quickly with the best friend. Because I was like, this is going into a really dark direction.
That best friend has shot some videos for some people.
Yeah. Yeah. But I really do hope that it finds its footing because I think there's potential for it. And I think the cast itself is fine. It just needs to be un-Disneyfied.
Which it won't be because it's on Disney Channel. If it was on ABC or ABC Family, it'd be a different story.
I agree. I hope because I love Boy Meets World so much. And it's actually, you can buy all those seasons for $10 a pop on Amazon right now. So if you want to check out our Amazon...
Well, last time I checked, they were all on Netflix, so...
No, it's not on Netflix at all. I wish it was.
It was.
I think it was for a little bit, but...
Yeah, for a while.
It was when I said last time I checked. It's probably been like a year and a half since I checked for Boy Meets
I bought the
World
first two
Netflix.
seasons on the Netflix recently. Not Netflix, Amazon.
And yes, Patrick in the chat room, Girl Meets World has been on for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah, but only the first episode. The new episode doesn't start until this week for some reason. Like the show doesn't actually start until this week. So I think this week is the second episode.
That's really stupid.
Also, this week is The Strain, isn't it?
Yeah, The Strain is this week. I gotta find a way to catch that to see if it matches up.
Nah, don't worry.
For that literary magic we read a few weeks ago.
Nah.
No, I actually think that the show could have potential, and I'm always down for a good sci-fi show in the summer. Speaking of, and I just posted this on Facebook, so you guys might have seen it. The Emmys were announced today.
The only thing I know about the Emmys is that Tatiana Maslany was not nominated for anything, and I don't care beyond that. So,
I agree, and I don't usually get in a tizzy about genre stuff not being nominated, but that performance deserves nomination.
Dexter, they don't need to make a spiritual sequel to The Facts of Life. The Facts of Life.
Oh God.
The Facts of Life remains with us to this day. I mean, every day I think about taking the
shut
good
up, Drew.
and taking the bad and taking them both. Because there, you have The Facts of Life. Yes, The Facts of Life.
Okay, if you could reboot a classic sitcom, what would it be?
Full House.
Really, Full House.
Actually, no, I'm going to take that back. Family Matters.
Family Matters?
We need a modern Urkel. The problem with rebooting Family Matters is that if it happened today, Tyler Perry would probably be doing it.
Yeah, no one needs that.
If Medea and Urkel met...
Oh my God.
Did Tyler Perry know about this idea? The Medea-Urkel crossover.
I don't know if that's the best or worst idea of all time.
Madurkle.
What about you, Patrick?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Tyler Perry's Urkel show.
No, but if you do a different sitcom, a classic sitcom, what would it be?
I said Tyler Perry's Urkel show. I'm sticking with my answer. Don't try and change my... No,
I need to tweet about a Tyler Perry-Urkel Family Matters crossover just to see if that's a thing that could happen.
Well, you need to Google and see if it's already... I'm sure there's already Rule 34 for that.
Julia White is not doing the Sonic the Hedgehog voice anymore, so he's not busy.
Which is an affront to humanity.
See, the thing is...
Shane in the chat room is asking if any of us watch Breaking Bad. Patrick has watched it. Mike has watched it. I've watched an episode and a half.
I've watched about the same.
I liked it. I would really like to get back into it. I just have no time.
Agreed.
I have no time.
So the thing about
the only way that I'm gonna watch Breaking Bad is if I do a podcast on Breaking Bad. That's it. That's the only way I'm gonna watch Breaking Bad, and that doesn't look like it's gonna happen.
Someone challenge us.
If I could reboot a show, it'd be Kenan and Kel.
Yeah.
Same actors today.
That would actually be pretty funny. But the thing about rebooting...
Who loves orange soda?
Kel loves orange soda.
Kel's family loves orange soda.
I had someone the other day trying to convince me that he was dead because they had heard that rumor a few years back, and I was like, no, that was a MySpace rumor from 2005. He's actually still alive.
MySpace was around 2000. Yeah, I guess it was. I was still in college in 2005.
Cool.
All right, I think we've run out of steam, so let's just chug on through to the finish line here, gentlemen. You can find us at themoreyounerd.com. You can also find our other show, The More You Nerd, where we challenge your nerd expectations by engaging in weekly challenges. You can find us at facebook.com/obscurereference, twitter.com/obscureshow. Am I missing anything, guys? I'm sure I am. We will be back next week. Mike will hopefully be back next week because I think we can all agree he's the interesting one.
Well, we also just didn't have a whole lot to talk about this week. That happens sometimes, you know.
As I said, he's the interesting one.
All he does is bitch about what we talk about.
Well, if he was here, there would certainly be less comic book and soccer talk.
Well, I also haven't done a great job keeping up with my comics recently, but yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes just not much happens. Happens in summer.
Well, we will see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.